Thank you everyone who is here. Thank you Democratic Committee of Steuben County. All the people who are getting involved for, as Sean said, this very, very important race. Many of you have heard me before. You know that this campaign is on a platform of economic opportunity and development in the southern tier Finger Lakes and western part of New York. We see that comprehensively, not just as a small jobs plan or a tax abatement in a certain area, but for the whole district. We want to see opportunity grow through affordable health care, affordable education, good education throughout the district, not just in pockets. We want to see those interest rates lower on federally secured student loans. We want to see the infrastructure built out. Let's fix our roads, let's fix the bridges. Let's also be sure that we can accommodate the more extreme weather events that we're having. I've seen it in other counties. It's happening also in Steuben, I know. The flooding and the toll that that takes. We want to see more transportation so you can get from Hornell to Corning or Olean or Jamestown or Elmira. We need more opportunities for people to get out, break the isolation. Also so they can get to a library, get to a school, get to a job. And we got to see that internet come out. We should have seen it years ago. And in all of these areas, if Mr. Reed has done his job, we would be on the road with the rest of this country as it's taking off economically. But we're behind because Mr. Reed didn't do his job. He didn't show up. He didn't get you the affordable health care. He votes against it every time. He's not helping you with the schools. Doesn't even talk about it. He's done nothing for the infrastructure. These are obligations of the federal government. This is what your congressperson is supposed to be doing for you. He's also supposed to be protecting the environment, and he never should have passed that tax act, especially with that 10K cherry on top of what's already a gift to the 1%. Now it's a prejudice against states that have privileged education and healthcare as New York has with high taxes. But the point is, he didn't show up to do his job. He didn't say stop. We have high taxes in New York State. We can't accept that 10K. But you know what? Even more recently, he didn't do his job. What's one of the greatest immediate crises we've had in this district and in this country? This opioid crisis. We just finally got a bipartisan bill. Money is going to start coming in. I have been very critical of President Trump calling it a crisis, then not offering any support to do something about it. Finally, it's here. Democrats worked on it, Republicans worked on it, the president signed it, and Tom Reed didn't show up to vote. He didn't show up for the vote. The man doesn't show up for the job, even when it's bipartisan. He doesn't show up. So you know what? We gave Tom Reed a chance in this district 8 years ago, and he blew it. Time to vote him in. We're going to vote him in. But now I want to say something that I think does reflect what Sean was talking about. So this election is about these issues. And we have his record. And we will discuss that at the debates and in the press and with your friends and when you go door to door. But this vote is one of the more important votes, certainly of my life, I expect of yours, because it's about values. And that's what we want to return to this district. That's what we want to return for each other. The values of having a community and a neighborhood. When I was growing up in an Irish Catholic family, big dinners, I think of the district like that. Everyone comes to dinner. And you know, after you have a drink, everyone's shouting at each other. And they're talking about this idea and that idea, and they're having all of the conversation is robust. And at the end of the day, we didn't always agree. We learned because we had different ideas. We had a better understanding of each other at the end of these dinners. But at the end, we hugged each other. We loved each other. We cared for each other. If something happened to someone, you were there with a covered dish. You showed up. You showed up because you shared fundamental values. And it wasn't about disagreeing and then casting a person off because they didn't have your exact way that you wanted to see it. It was about understanding their position, holding your own, maybe coming out with something that was better than either of you had when you started with. But importantly, we were together. And our district is like that. We are a family. Our country is like that. Let's go ahead and have a robust conversation. Let's not be afraid to have an idea. Let's not be afraid to talk about it. But let's treat each other with respect. And that's what we want in Congress. That's what we want in government. Those are the kind of values that we hold. Let's not divert from conversations. Let's not divide us. And let's not disrespect us. So this campaign, this election, ultimately is about the issues. And I promise I will deliver. My entire professional life has been about getting results. But more than that, it's about bringing us back to some fundamental values. And for that, I am honored to be here, to speak with you, and to celebrate as we go into the election on November 6th. Thank you very, very much.